The invitation arrived on a Tuesday morning, folded inside a thick ivory envelope that looked too expensive for the apartment mailbox it had been forced into. Anna stood barefoot on the cold kitchen tiles, her robe wrapped tightly around her, staring at her name written in gold ink. Mrs. Anna Keller. She almost laughed at the Mrs. He had stopped calling her that years ago, long before the divorce papers were signed. Inside, the card was formal, distant. Marcus Keller requests the honor of your presence at his wedding. No personal note. No apology. Just a date, a location, and a time. Anna sat down at the small wooden table by the window. Outside, the gray sky of Munich pressed low against the rooftops. The radiator hummed weakly. She read the card again, her chest tightening. He hadn't invited her out of kindness. She knew Marcus. He thrived on appearances. He liked control. He liked winning. And in his mind, she had lost. 3 years earlier, she had stood in a courtroom with trembling hands while Marcus, in a tailored suit, explained to the judge why their separation was necessary. He had spoken calmly, confidently, describing irreconcilable differences and financial strain. He did not mention the late nights he never explained, or the way his voice hardened when she asked simple questions. When she left the marriage, she left with 2 suitcases and her dignity. She refused his financial support beyond what was legally required. She found work at a small design studio, took extra shifts, sold the jewelry her grandmother had given her. She learned how to survive on less. He moved on quickly. New apartment, new car, new fiancé from a wealthy family. The invitation was not about closure. It was a stage, and she was meant to be part of the scenery. Her phone buzzed. It was Lena, her sister. "You're not going," Lena said after Anna told her. Anna hesitated. "Why not?" "Because he wants to see you small. Because he wants everyone to look at you and think he upgraded." Anna stared at the gold lettering. A familiar ache rose in her chest, the old humiliation. The night she cried quietly so Marcus wouldn't hear. The way he used to correct her in front of guests. "You should let him have his day," Lena continued. "Just don't be there." Anna folded the card carefully. "I think I will go." There was silence on the other end. "Why?" Anna didn't answer immediately. She wasn't sure herself. Maybe because running felt too much like the woman she used to be. The weeks before the wedding were restless. She worked long hours, poured herself into projects, into colors and fabrics and clean lines. The design studio had recently landed a significant contract with a luxury hotel chain. Her concept had impressed them. For the first time in years, she felt seen for something other than her relationship status. On the morning of the wedding, rain tapped softly against the windows. Anna stood in front of her mirror, smoothing the fabric of her dress. It was elegant but simple, deep blue silk that hugged her frame without shouting for attention. She had saved for it quietly, telling no one. Her phone rang. An unfamiliar number. "Frau Keller?" a man's voice asked. "Yes. This is Herr Vogel from Koenig Motors. I'm calling regarding the vehicle you requested." She closed her eyes briefly. "Yes, I'll be ready." An hour later, the limousine pulled up in front of her modest building. Neighbors peeked through curtains. The sleek black car looked absurd against the cracked pavement. Anna stepped inside, her pulse steady but strong. The leather seats smelled new. As the driver pulled away, she looked at her reflection in the tinted glass. She did not see the woman who had once begged for affection. The church was already full when the limousine arrived. Guests in pastel dresses and sharp suits turned at the sound of the engine. Whispering rippled through the courtyard. The door opened. Anna stepped out slowly, rain misting her hair. Gasps moved through the crowd like wind through leaves, and then he stepped out behind her. Marcus, but not the groom. A smaller version. Same dark hair, same sharp jawline. No more than 2 years old. The murmurs grew louder. Anna bent down and lifted the little boy into her arms. He wrapped his arms around her neck instinctively, pressing his cheek against hers. She walked toward the church entrance calmly, feeling every eye on her. Marcus stood at the top of the steps, frozen. His face drained of color. "What is this?" he hissed as she approached. Anna met his eyes steadily. "You invited me." The child looked between them curiously. Marcus swallowed. "You had no right." She tilted her head slightly. "No right to attend? Or no right to exist?" The truth hung heavy in the air. 3 years ago, when she had left, she didn't know she was pregnant. Stress had masked the symptoms, By the time she found out, Marcus had already begun his new life. She had tried to tell him. He accused her of manipulation. He demanded proof. He refused involvement, so she raised her son alone. She never asked for more than the minimum required by law. She never begged. And today she chose not to hide. The church doors opened behind Marcus. His bride, radiant in white, paused when she saw the scene unfolding. Confusion flickered across her face. Anna stepped forward, her voice calm but clear enough for those nearest to hear. "This is Jonas, your son." A sharp intake of breath spread through the guests. The bride's bouquet trembled in her hands. "Marcus?" she whispered. He looked trapped, smaller than Anna had ever seen him. "You told me there were no children," the bride said, her voice breaking. Anna did not feel triumph. She felt something quieter. Release. "I didn't come to destroy anything," Anna said softly. "You invited me to witness your happiness. I brought the truth instead." Jonas stirred in her arms, sleepy and unaware of the storm he had just unleashed. The silence stretched unbearably. Then the bride lowered her bouquet. "I need a moment," she said, stepping back inside the church. Guests began murmuring, some stepping away awkwardly, others staring openly. Marcus ran a hand through his hair. For once he had no script. "You've humiliated me," he muttered. Anna shook her head gently. "No, I stopped hiding." She turned away before he could respond. As she reached the limousine again, Lena appeared from the crowd, eyes wide with disbelief and pride. "You're unbelievable," Lena whispered. Anna smiled faintly, settling Jonas into the car seat provided by the driver. Inside the limousine, as the door closed and the noise faded, Anna held her son's small hand. "Was that Papa?" he asked in his soft, uncertain voice. She swallowed the ache in her throat. "Yes." "Is he coming with us?" She looked out at the church where confusion still swirled like the rain. "No," she said gently. "We're going home." As the car drove away, Anna felt lighter than she had in years. Not because Marcus's perfect day had cracked, not because the whispers would follow him, but because she had walked into the place designed to shrink her and stood tall. She had nothing to prove. No wealth to flaunt. The limousine was not about status. It was a statement that she would arrive with dignity, not shame. Jonas rested his head against her shoulder, trusting, warm, real. For the first time since the divorce, Anna did not feel like the woman who had been left behind. She felt like the one who had chosen her own future. And that, she realized as the city blurred past the window, was the only victory that ever mattered.